in Tekken 8. We've all gone to the point where we've seen toxic behavior, we've experienced toxic behavior. In fact, we've even done toxic behavior ourselves in Tekken 8. And I wonder something, is it okay to be toxic in Tekken 8? Yes and no, because at the end of the day, it's really up to you, dear viewer, if you want to be toxic in Tekken 8, because whether it's okay or not, you're still gonna be toxic in Tekken 8. Let's be real here. Tekken culture. We already know in fighting games that there's gonna be a lot of trash talking, a lot of mind games going on. For some reason, in the fight game community, especially in a game like Tekken 8, trash talking is gonna happen. You already know the other person just doesn't like you. Why? Because they have to fight you. And if that's the case, trash talking is gonna happen. Why? Because when it comes down to a game like Tekken 8, there's a lot of pride, skill, and definitely a whole lot of ego, all in one care package in a video game called Tekken 8. But when it comes to toxicity, it can be viewed differently. It can be viewed as something disrespectful or something that's normal. Normal meaning it's accepted or it's disrespectful. I'll give you an example. Sometimes I like to teabag here and there if I kick the Jin's ass online. Does it mean I hate the guy? Nah, not really. That's just me trying to egg the other person on to get under their skin, so in the next round, the other person is just gonna act a little bit more emotional and I can take advantage. To me, it's all psychological. But some people want to be toxic just to be toxic. As long as they can make the other person feel bad and put the other person down, both mentally and physically, then I guess in this case, toxicity is not the best thing to do, because you're there to be a piece of shit to other people online, and not in a good way. Like, if winning is not good enough and you have to be toxic to the person where you need to just say some personal foul fucked up shit to them and you don't even know who the person is, yet you're still gonna be toxic, well, then in this case, I don't think being toxic is a good thing for you. Taunting. When it comes to taunting, people usually do this after a combo or at the end of the round or at the end of the last round, the winning round. Why? Because taunting is a thing. Why do you think people do Kai charges at the end of the fight? It's part of the fight. It doesn't do anything, but it's part of the game and other players can do it. Teabagging. I've said this over and over again, but we already know teabagging is toxic, obviously. But is teabagging okay? Yes and no. If you're trying to play a psychological game with your opponent where you're mocking the person, then maybe teabagging might be a good thing, because you're gonna get the other person to act more emotional, as I said before, and they're bound to up, because when the other person's cool, calm, and collective, then they're obviously thinking straight. That's not what you want. So if teabagging is gonna help you give you that edge, the mental edge, then teabagging is for you. In this case, I guess it's all right to be toxic. No rematch. I don't know if this is even considered to be toxic or not, but if you don't want to rematch someone after a fight in Tekken 8, then you don't have to fight him again. That's it. Simple as that. But apparently, no rematch is toxic. Why? Because most likely the other person lost so bad that they're gonna message you, raging the fuck out of you in messages, saying you're trash, you're a piece of shit, how dare you teabag me, you're a one and done, what the fuck are you doing in this game, all you know is that same move. There's multiple things that this person's gonna say on why you suck at this game, all because you didn't rematch them. Yes, this is toxic, but if you not rematching the person is toxic, then in this case, it's okay to be toxic. Hear me out, because a simple button saying no rematch is what's gonna piss the other person off. Well, too bad, because it seems to me that's a them problem. Messages. Alright, so we already know that in messages, gets crazy. I've said this multiple times. In messages, I think it's even worse than the actual fight. I think the real fight is in messages, because now people get to articulate themselves on how they really feel about you after they got their ass kicked by you. Yeah, you played as king. You beat the shit out of the other person so bad to the point that they really need to let you know on how much they hate you. Like, to the point that it's all in messages, definitely in writing, because that's why messages exist, and those messages are there forever. Like, if you're playing on PlayStation and someone decides to send a freaking hate mail to you, I hope they realize that there's no backwards button, because those words stick and they don't give a fuck, because they're still gonna send the hate mail heading your way. Is this toxic? Yes. Now, is it okay for this toxic behavior to happen? I guess yes, because on one end of the spectrum, it's bad, because how dare this other person makes a freaking toxic hate message to you? You did nothing to this person. All you've done was kick their ass in Tekken 8, which is what you're supposed to do in a fighting game. I'm so sorry that I chose to play a fighting game, the same fighting game as you, and you lost. That's not my problem, that's your problem. You fucked up by fighting me, the winner, and you're the loser. And you're even a bigger loser by messaging me your feelings on how I beat your ass. Boo-hoo. I don't give a fuck. and most likely in about 30 seconds, I'm gonna forget who you are because I'm off to the next fight. Loser, salty losses. Now, what makes a person toxic in Tekken 8? People say it's the loss, people say it's the salt, people say it's the teabagging in the fight. I say it's the salt. And how do you get the salt? Well, you get it yourself. You yourself, the loser. Yes, talking to you right now. The loser is gonna be bringing the salt because most people, when they play a game like Tekken 8, whether it's quick matches, rank matches, whatever, you lose, off to the next fight, which is how it's supposed to be, but it's not. In fact, this is all about power and ego because there's only one winner and there's only one loser. That's it. There's no such thing as both winners and there's no such thing as both losers because when the fight is over, on the screen, it's gonna show who has won, whether it's you or the other person. You watching this video right now, viewer, you better make sure you're the winner, never the loser, because if you lose, we're gonna find out real quick if you yourself are toxic. And if that's the case, is it okay for you to be toxic? Well, in this case, no, because if one loss or two losses is what's got you really salty, then this game isn't for you. Like, why are you playing a video game that pisses you off, that gets you so angry, that makes you go into messages and rage your feelings out to the other person, all because you got bested in a fighting game called Tekken 8? It's not good. It's not okay. Something is wrong here, and it's not Tekken 8. It's you. When it comes down to toxic behavior, is all of this justified? Maybe. Just maybe. Only because it depends on the circumstances. I'll give you an example. Is the other person teabagging you throughout the entire match? Well, I guess that gives you grounds to be toxic right back tenfold. You are in the clear to message the other person on how cocky they were in the entire match only for them to lose. You know what I say? Good job, because you beat toxic behavior by being even more toxic yourself, and you have shown the other person what true toxicity is all about. In this case, it's okay to be toxic. But how about being toxic to newcomers? Well, this could be a good thing or a bad thing, only because if you beat this person so bad, the beginner, well, two things are gonna happen. They're gonna quit the game for good right away, or be motivated to the point that they are focused on being the best to the point where they can kick your ass. Now, I don't think you want that on your conscience, man. Like, why would you put this person on the road of vengeance just solely to kick your fucking ass in Tekken 8, the game that you were once great at, now the other person is better than you at? That's a nightmare, if you ask me. Like I said, it all depends on the circumstances, but at the end of the day, toxicity will always be a thing in a game like Tekken 8. That goes without saying. But with that being said, whether I'm toxic or you're toxic, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, we are all still gonna be playing Tekken 8.